Just first order business. Dory wasn't here. He had a funeral to attend, so that's why he wasn't at practice today. Obviously a huge red zone emphasis today as we're starting to work our way through the special situations of the game. And red zone kind of day 3 is pretty normal for us, pretty typical. I thought there was some good work. I thought it was really good to see that our defense was able to create a couple of turnovers in the red zone, which is huge. You know, we pride ourselves on a red zone defense. We also pride ourselves on our efficiency in the red zone offensively. Last season we were really good. I think we were over 75% touchdown ratio when we're in the red zone, so we are very aggressive. And I think that showed up today. And obviously the offense winning the finish challenger at the end with a touchdown pass to Connor Spears. So really good competitive first week. I thought first day of putting shoulder pads on, you know, you walk away first thing thinking with the line play that our pad level needs to improve right away. You know, you get used to playing in helmets and jerseys, and you can kind of stay high and those things. All of a sudden the pads get on. If you don't have really good pad level, you start getting knocked around and moved around, and I thought that showed up some today. So the end result is, all in all, good first week. We'll really evaluate it hard and then come back with another 3 practices next week.
Any update on Bryce Dixon?
No.
How's Jalen Fitzpatrick performed so far?
It's been okay. You know, it's been pretty challenging when there's only 2 guys, you know, because the fatigue factor. We're trying to monitor these guys as best as we can, not to wear Jalen and Connor out. I think for Jalen, it's taken a little bit of time to get back into the flow of things, get back in the flow of the game, and the tight end in our system's a difficult one. That position, you know, we ask them to do a lot in the run game. We ask them to do a lot in the pass game, whether it's running routes or pass protecting. So there's a lot that goes into it, different than maybe some of the other position groups. So I think Jalen's been okay for 3 practices. Hopefully we can get him to continue to improve the next 3.
One more question about Bryce. Is he out for the spring, or is that a day-to-day, week-to-week situation?
No other comment.
Kevon Seymour seemed like he was kind of all over the place today, breaking up passes, intercepting them. What have you seen out of him so far?
Well, I really challenged Kevon after the first practice that, you know, even though he's going to be a senior, that doesn't mean we can't continue to improve and improve our competitiveness every single play, every single day. And I think that we're starting to see that more with Kevon. He's a really talented guy. It's keeping him and getting him in the right frame of mind, and then keeping him there and playing with an edge. When you're out there at corner and you're by yourself, you have to have that edge. You have to have that ability to play the game with an intensity and with a real quick, short memory of what just occurred. And I think Kevon has vastly improved there. And it showed today. I thought he played really physical. He was around the ball. We challenged him a bunch. He and Juju were going at it all day, and Kevon performed very well.
When would be the first time you guys will be in full pads?
Probably Tuesday. We'll address it as a staff, more than likely Tuesday.
What have you seen out of the defensive line so far? Obviously, you know, trying to replace Leonard, whether it's one guy or a bunch of guys doing that.
Well, again, I've kind of held my observation some after the first 2 days, just because we weren't in pads. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Today, obviously, the first full day in shoulder pads, to where I think initially there was some initial shock in the first team period where we were getting pushed around a little bit. I thought the defensive front improved as the practice went on. What I've been impressed with, our pass rush has been good the first 3 days, which has been a point of emphasis of ours, an area of our team that we think we need to improve upon. So that has been impressive to me. But beyond that, quite honestly, to speak on individuals, I have to look at the tape, because it's hard to see it all, and you know, when it's all happening as fast as it does.
How about though, just for like the first week, like for Kenny Bigelow to be back out and being active? Do you have any impressions yet?
No, I mean, obviously Kenny's been very limited and will be this entire spring. I want him healthy when we get to training camp. Kenny's done a really good job of conditioning. You know, he's lost some weight. He looks really good. He looked great in our winter conditioning stuff. So I know he's putting in the effort and the time. You know, from a football standpoint, there's some fundamental technique stuff we're working with on the side, but I really won't get a fair gauge of him really until training camp.
Is place kicker, is that an open competition between Alex and Matt?
Yes. They're striking the ball well. You know, both of them struck the ball really well today. As I've touched on, previously, that we, a lot of times we always want to focus on the kicker. The operation is really key, and we're fortunate to have our snapper and holder coming back, and Zach and Connor. That helps new kickers coming in, that knowing the snap is really good, the hold's going to be there, and they can focus on their job, and that's the timing, and then ultimately striking the ball and kicking the ball. So they've, so far so good.
One more question.
Could Matt give you a kind of a different way of looking with his range in terms of when you kick field goals and all that?
Well, I know I'm not there yet to say, Dan. You guys know me well enough, I think, that after a year, we're going to be really aggressive, and that's just kind of the makeup of who we are as a team. We're going to remain aggressive when we cross the 50. That's who we are, and so we have a tendency to go for it maybe a little bit more than some other teams. But you have to have an identity of somewhere of what you do, and I think that's something that we do. That being said, I do think Matt has a really good range. We haven't really tested him yet this spring. We will moving forward. Again, we're just trying to get the operation right here the first few days, and I know what Alex's range is too. I mean, we went to him on kickoffs. That should tell you what we thought of his range as well. So I think it's going to be a good competition, a healthy one. Hopefully those guys provide us some opportunities, when there are the 48 to 52, 53-yard field goals, that there isn't the reservation to kick it, that we're going forward on 4th and 6s and 4th and 7s in tight ball games especially, that we're willing to kick it and have faith in those guys to make it.
Thanks, Coach.
Alrighty, guys. Enjoy your weekend.